Alright, man, welcome back to another SunnyV2 reaction. Today we got how one joke collapsed a popular YouTube podcast. Now SunnyV2 provides nothing but absolute fucking bangers. Like always, it's not wasting any time, just get right into this one, man.
On episode 351 of the...
Also, yeah, hey, before we get into this one, man, if you like the video, do me a favor and like the video, man. It really does help. Alright, let's actually waste no more time. Just go right into
Impulsive podcast. Bobby Lee made one single joke which completely wrecked the relationship between the three hosts Logan, Mike, and most notably George.
He's not coming back? Is he really?
You know, it's so fucked up that, like, the ones I like the most in order is George, Mike, Logan. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really not how it should be.
Oh, I have beef with a guy? I don't...
Yeah,
oh, no. I didn't do anything wrong.
For context, Logan and Mike created the podcast back in late 2018, and it's safe to say that these two have always had excellent chemistry. Their personalities work well together, they seem to be pretty good friends, and generally speaking they exhibit a similar level of status. Keeping a permanent third host, on the other hand, has proven much more difficult.
Yeah.
The first 150 episodes featured
they've gone through three motherfuckers.
The third host named Spencer, who eventually left the podcast to move to Hawaii, after which the role went to Logan's child.
Now, I don't watch every episode of the Impulsive podcast, but anytime they have, like, a good guest on that I really want to watch, I will tune in and watch, man.
Good friend Mac, who'd then also leave after getting into a fight with Mike over their difference in interests.
I do also want to say I really like Mike's YouTube channel. I can't remember the exact fucking name. Why am I blanking right now? Whatever the fuck the name of Mike's YouTube channel is. I really like that one.
Episode 2
where he like eats burgers and shit.
In September 2020, the next and most recent third host was announced as George Janko,
Introducing the third co-host of Impulsive, my best friend, George Janko,
who was certainly different to the previous two. George was introduced as a more emotional counterpart to Logan and Mike, as he had a reputation for wearing his heart on his sleeve, while Logan and Mike were almost the exact opposite. In addition to this, George was a devout Christian, with discussion about his own spirituality, adding another layer of contrast to what had previously been a non-religious show. Outside of Impulsive, George practiced the art of stand-up comedy, although it'd be through comedy that he'd eventually meet his ruin. One thing was glaringly obvious from George's very first appearance. He simply wasn't on the same level as Logan and Mike. Logan has succeeded with everything from vlogs to Prime, while Mike has overcome his own set of challenges and has proven himself as a fantastic interviewer who meshes
The Night Shift. That's the name of his YouTube channel. The Night Shift.
Well with almost every guest on the show. George, on the other hand, has always felt a little too much like, well, just another guy who Logan met at the gym.
Logan, I met him at a gym.
George never had the chance to refine his interviewing skills to the same degree as Logan and Mike, which is only accentuated by his seating position to the right of the guest, making it much harder for George to engage in the conversation. The obvious imbalance between George, Logan, Mike, and usually the guest as well, leaves George with a needy personality and an overpowering desire for approval, leading to over-the-top questions and comments, often producing a clunky viewing experience.
I need to know more about you. Like, how did you figure out that, like, this entertainment world was your calling?
That's what I was gonna say.
I said it, so...
But I was gonna say...
No, but I said it.
No, it's good. It's good.
I was already fun.
Why'd Logan do that? He asked the question, George asked the question, and then Logan goes, well, I was gonna ask that. It's like, yeah, but he already said it. Exactly like George said. He already said it, so why even bringing it up? Logan made it weird there. Let me just say.
I said it, so...
I was gonna say...
No, but I said it.
No, it's good. It's good.
I was already funnier than the kids around me, so I was like, I could tell the joke that they're gonna make fun of me, but even better. And I made it about myself. So I was, like, making fun of myself, like, really, really self-deprecated myself.
Generally speaking, George's attitude wasn't severe enough to upset any of the guests. However, on episode 346 with Shaquille...
Oh my god, yeah, Shaq tore into him. Shaq's like, you haven't even fucking said anything. What are you doing? What are you even doing up here? What's your job?
O'Neal,
like,
George was slapped in the face with a bit of a reality check. For the first 11 minutes of the podcast, George didn't say a single word, leading Shaq to confront him about his lack of input.
Hold on, you ain't gonna ask me a question? Oh, damn.
He waits. He likes to wait until he's got the...
Bro,
listen, man, I read the Bible a lot when they talk about David and Goliath. I've never seen a giant, and so, like, I'm literally just...
Wow.
I'm a little taken...
You've been sitting over here for 30 minutes, and that's all you can freaking say?
Holy shit.
That's the question. Jeez.
I'm just sitting...
Oh, he fucking...
You drunk?
I have one question. Is there any chance I could, for 2 seconds, put these up so I can hear what's going on?
Take them all. You don't have to ask
Why
the
you asking
producer.
Dylan?
Just take things off.
Okay.
After making the excuse that he couldn't hear due to his headphones, George sat quietly for another 11 minutes, after which he was scolded again.
What the fuck are you doing here?
Yeah, Shaq really went in on him, bruh.
Ask a question. Jeez. He's your partner?
He's the newest.
You might want to give him his 2-week notice.
Holy shit.
Ask the question, dude.
Honestly-
Jeez. You're just sitting here like a bobblehead going.
Yeah. No,
That's the
I'm so
question.
sorry. I didn't want to
Okay.
interrupt you because
No,
I
go
couldn't
ahead.
hear, but
Go ahead.
And it's safe to say that this put a permanent dent in George's confidence. He'd already joked about how difficult it was to be the third host in the past,
It's hard to be the third person on a podcast with,
wouldn't
with two
say.
very vocal main hosts.
and after the Shaquille O'Neal episode, it was obvious that George's confidence had fallen off a cliff.
and then recently I've been just getting really nervous that I'm not doing well enough for the podcast anymore.
Only 5 episodes after Shaq roasted George, Bobby Lee would join the show for Impulsive
here we go.
351, during which one single
Dude, I watched the Shaq one and this Bobby Lee
joke
one.
would send the show into turmoil. The episode began with Bobby taking a little jab at George by suggesting that Mike was cooler,
You have everything.
Cool friends.
So
You have,
this,
you have cool friends like this guy. What about him?
No.
yet things became a little more contentious when George took it from fun to borderline aggressive.
some people just don't like sucking dick. Now turn around and know the wisdom I give you.
Whoa.
Before displaying more arrogance just a few minutes later.
How about you?
First of all, what's my name?
Sensing George's clear
Bruh.
insecurity, Bobby began to roast George whenever he got the opportunity.
There you go,
have a
Bobby.
girlfriend?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Is that your girlfriend? Without fame, you wouldn't get that.
Although the ultimate roast would come
Holy shit! Oh my fucking god, Bobby Lee! I don't remember that. Holy fuck, dude. I mean, come on. I mean, it's Bobby fucking Lee, bruh.
clear insecurity.
Holy
Bobby
shit.
began to roast George whenever he got the opportunity.
You have a girlfriend?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Is that your girlfriend? Without fame, you wouldn't get that.
Although the ultimate roast
Damn.
would come after George went on a 2.5-minute monologue about the struggles he faced in his life.
And I don't mean this in a cocky way, but like, dude, this put me on a very strong map, and it made a lot of my avenues blow up. So I'm
It's
very
like that's-
blessed, but I didn't know I was gonna be here. So
It's
for
like
me-
that's. You know?
Dude, holy shit.
It was just a long monologue.
He was just waiting. He was
And let me just say something. I loved what you were saying. It was very long. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
usually
yeah,
8.
yeah.
That's usually.
But you know, I got what you're saying, and you really inspired me, George.
Jesus
Can I say
fucking
something?
First of all,
Christ.
don't touch me.
Yeah, yeah.
Do not
Okay,
touch
my
me.
bad, my bad. Yeah, we just need writers to edit that down. Like if we had a staff of writers, they'd be like, "Yeah, we'll cut that." But
I'm sorry.
essentially,
Bro, Bobby Lee he's so funny. George, he's taking it too personal, man. That's. I feel like that's kind of the problem, is that he's taking it a little too personal. He talked about how growing up he was always the butt of the joke, so then he learned how to deal with it and all that. But then it's ironic how here, when he's the butt of the joke, he gets, all defensive and stuff. I like George, but I mean, you can clearly tell that all in these videos he's taking it way too personal. Meanwhile, he's saying, "Oh yeah, my whole life I've always been, the butt of the joke. People have always been, degrading me, so I'm used to it now." It's like,
it was a really good monologue.
Usually when
I
I,
don't
do my
think so,
comedy,
buddy.
I don't have writers in the room. I actually write my own stuff.
Okay, I can tell.
I
But
like-
oh my god!
maybe you should get a writer. But my point is,
For the rest of the podcast, George went into his own little world, except for when Bobby got his attention just so he could roast him again.
all right, George.
So sad.
What I'm saying is that
Better
when
when
you were
it's over.
talking, we were here for that 30 minutes.
Eventually leading George to walk off the
No,
podcast and
dude,
get in
yeah,
an
that's
Uber
so
and
dumb.
leave without saying goodbye. The episode received comments such as, "It's impossible to call yourself a comedian if you can't handle
He's slaughtered by other comedians, especially the captain. Fucking real and true. Shout out to this guy, dude.
being slaughtered by other comedians, especially the Captain Bob himself." George tells everyone he's going to be the best comedian alive, but he can't take a joke from the legendary Bobby Lee. It's like a badge of honor. How does he think most comedians communicate with each other?
Fucking
I've always
real
thought
and
George thinks
true.
he's funnier than he really
Dude,
is.
see, a lot of times SunnyV2 goes through and he finds comments that are horrible fucking takes, right? It's like just some random fucking dumbass who just like doesn't know anything about anything. Writes his opinion down there, and Sonny's like, "Oh yeah, that's a fucking great take right there," and I don't even think Sonny truly believes in it, but whatever. But these comments have been great. I mean, not great takes, but I don't disagree with him.
is. And when people roast him, he
He's
gets
funnier than he really is. When people roast him, he gets super butthurt like this generation. Yeah, really and true. He, like I was saying, he talked about how he was always the butt of the joke. He was always the subject of the joke, so that now he can take a joke. But it's ironic how in this situation he's not.
super butthurt like
And
this
all these other
generation.
ones.
Things became worse for George after this video by Jamari gained well over 1 million views,
Yeah.
leading George to address the criticism in the following episode of Impulsive by arrogantly stating that he enjoyed all the hatred.
I love that people were just commenting and getting so steamed. It made me realize, like, oh, I really don't care. I want it. I want to be in their heads more. Like, I like it.
Love how George is trying to act like he's not heard about this when he had to leave the pod because Bobby Lee, out of all people, almost made him cry. Dude is a clown.
Damn.
A week after George responded, Logan appeared on Bobby Lee's podcast Tiger Belly, where Bobby took a moment to talk about George's behavior.
What he did
Ooh.
was
I've only watched this podcast a couple of times, right? I've seen a couple of clips of this podcast. I don't really watch Bobby Lee's. I really like how this setup is, man. I really like how it's not one cam cutting back and forth. It's multiple angles. This is nice. This is a very, very unique type of pod. You don't normally see multiple angles like this.
unprofessional.
Yeah.
I was a guest.
Yeah.
He walked out on a guest.
Yeah.
If this guy right here walked out on a guest, he would be reprimanded.
Before roasting him yet again.
If you had walked out, right, it would have been like, oh, it's over. But him walking out was just kind of like, let's keep going.
Holy
Bobby and Logan
shit!
then decided that they should
Real
get George
and
on a
true.
call,
Can you give me his number?
You want to settle this right now?
Yeah, I'm gonna call him right now.
leading Bobby and George to fix their relationship.
I want to apologize
Yeah, there's no way. He laughs as he does it. There's no way this goes over well.
for my behavior on your podcast.
Bobby Lee, you shut your mouth. I'm apologizing
Oh, I
to
did
you.
see
I
this, yeah.
left you. You were our guest.
I want to pull back my apology then. Because I too, because I literally did not feel sorry.
Bruh, holy shit.
I pulled out of the apology. I don't feel sorry, but I will accept yours, right? And hopefully, you know, when I come back to your podcast, we can make it right.
However, it was obvious that the whole thing had caused a serious fracture between George and Logan, becoming most obvious when they get into an almost hour-long argument, only 5 episodes after the Bobby Lee podcast.
I didn't watch this.
I know
don't
people
think.
that hate me, that treat me better
Oh,
about my
this.
face than you.
Oh, yeah, okay, I have seen this. Logan just shits on Christianity. Doesn't he say, like something like, if there's God, show yourself or some shit?
One that really hurt me is you told me I need a therapist because I believe in Jesus. That one hurt me.
No, I didn't. I said you need a therapist because Jesus isn't quite doing it for you,
No, you
which
didn't.
is
No, you
which is
didn't.
true.
No, you didn't.
I
And
said
I won't stand down. No, you didn't. What do I need a therapist for then?
Jesus isn't doing it for you, and I
what do
believe
I need
you're.
a therapist for?
I don't believe you're as emotionally mature as you could be.
I'm not emotionally intelligent. Could you pick a time and frame any day of our
Sure.
life?
Here's one. 3 weeks ago, when you were sitting in that chair, you stormed off this exact podcast because you were upset about something a comedian said.
Logan did apologize in their
Got
very
him.
next episode together.
Logan was not, to be fair, Logan wasn't wrong in
Attitude towards
that
you on
statement.
that episode, and my belittlement of your beliefs was not appropriate at all.
However, George
True.
seemed to realize that his days on Impulsive were numbered, as he'd create his own podcast before clickbaiting the first episode with the
Oh,
title,
yeah.
Why George Janko is Not on Impulsive, implying that he'd left the group. George used the video to explain that this hadn't really happened.
Obviously, I'm still on Impulsive, guys. For any of you guys that are like, oh, their beef situation, and now he's starting his own like lane.
Even going so far as to say their relationship was as good as ever.
Me, Logan, and Mike are in a perfect place.
Yet it was obvious that this clickbait video had annoyed Logan.
I'm just doing this for a couple weeks so then I could leave and clickbait that why I left him.
Woo!
That's good. It's a good strategy.
That'll crush.
It's been done. It's been done many
Yeah?
times, and it works.
By who? Oh,
Well, you can make a real living for yourself. You know, we've seen the model.
Resulting in more and more uncomfortable moments on the podcast.
You don't give a shit about this show anymore, let's be honest. It's like bands that hate each other that have to get on stage every night and play
Oh
for the
my
audience.
God,
Like, yo, let's
really
do our hits,
true.
so we don't- like, and we have to sit
That's
here
not
and
true.
pretend
That's
to
not
be
true. I
friends.
like Mike.
I like Mike. Oh my God, yeah. I mean, yeah, but the whole band has to kind of like each other, you know?
George,
Well, he's about to
You
redeem
don't
it.
say.
He's about to.
Only 3 episodes after comparing themselves to a band forced to play together, George disappeared from the show without warning, leading fans to speculate on whether or not he'd been booted. Mike refused to elaborate on the situation when asked by Aiden Ross.
Dude, I just gotta say, man. Nico and Aiden, and who the fuck is this guy? Dude. I just... I'm sorry. I just can't with these two, especially this fucking dude right here, this fucking clown.
Or just not impulsive anymore? Is that like you don't answer that?
No, I don't want to talk about that.
Although only 1 month later on an episode of Jeff FM with Mike and Tanner Mojo, Tanner accidentally said this.
We are the new impulsive. I'm sorry.
We are. It's fine.
Y'all having like a rebrand, like George is leaving. Like this is it.
At around the same point in time, George unfollowed both Logan and Mike on Instagram, which was followed by Impulsive changing their profile picture from this to this, as well as their banner from this to this. All of this had happened silently with no input from the hosts. However, on the 26th of April 2023, George had posted to Twitter, "I wasn't going to talk, but now I am," implying that some pretty heavy stuff had gone down behind the scenes. Replies on the post encouraged George to keep the drama private, yet on the 31st of May, approximately 1 month later, another tweet was made stating,
"I'm sorry, I can't speak about things, not my choice. I do love you guys. For those of you sending me a clip of them talking shit, that's all love. I've already moved on from that toxic environment." Oh, so they're really not friends anymore.
To the Impulsive fans, I'm so sorry I can't
Jesus
speak about things, not my choice. I do love you guys, and for those of you sending me the clip of them talking shit, it's all love. I've already moved on from that toxic environment.
How are you gonna say it's all love and then call the environment toxic afterwards? Like George. It just doesn't make sense, dude. You're saying it's all love, implying that you're still, you know, friends with them or whatever the fuck, and then right after, in the very next sentence, you call that environment toxic. I don't. It's just those two you shouldn't put this and then this. You shouldn't claim that, oh, they're just kidding, it's all love, and then put that's right afterwards. I'm just saying it doesn't go together.
Podcast. The post received replies slamming George such as, "Mate, you sat there not speaking for 90% of the time. What are we missing? Your silence?" To which he'd respond by stating, "You think I wanted to be quiet, ha ha ha." Yet this kind of statement is representative of why he's unsuitable for the podcast. He cares way too much about how other people view him. If you're the type of person who gets defensive and feels like you always have to be in the right, you're probably better suited to a Facebook comment section and not a career on YouTube.
Damn.
Despite this, George has seen some success with the George Janko show, yet Logan hasn't been able to resist roasting George.
Wait,
has seen some success.
160, 250.
Success with the George Janko show, yet Logan hasn't been able to resist roasting George's low view count.
I love this outlet, and it exists because people watch, and without
You're gonna roast his low view count? Dude, that's just fucking cringy, bro. That's like the same thing as Ninja trying to roast fucking Ronaldo for having 1,000 viewers. It's like, what the fuck are we talking about, bro? That's so fucking cringy, dude. It's just cringy. Like, 250,000 views on one video is really fucking good, man, okay? It's not Mr. Beast. Shut the fuck up, Logan. Like, moments like that are the reason why I don't like Logan. Like,
George has seen some success with the George
160K
Janko show,
views.
yet Logan hasn't been able to resist roasting George's low view count.
I love this outlet, and it exists because people watch, and without people watching, I just have a show like.
Since then, George has stated that he simply wants to distance himself from Mike and Logan.
Yeah, I'm at a point right now where I want distance from both of them. I don't want anything to do with it, and I just move on.
Which seems to be the best possible outcome for everybody involved.
yeah, probably. At the end of the day, him moving on from Impulsive doesn't affect me at all. I don't watch it enough. I don't care enough. And I'm not gonna go watch the George Janko show unless he has a good guest on that I want to watch. Same exact scenario as Impulsive. So, yeah, basically the whole gist of it. Damn. Yo, what an absolute motherfucking banger, like always. Yo, make sure to go subscribe to SunnyV2 if you haven't already, man. Goddamn, bro, goddamn. Hey, yo, if you liked the video, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you next time, man. Deuces.